Welcome back to another episode of this series. As promised, this one is going to be in the gym. And with the first exercise, what I'm doing is building shoulder strength. Specifically, the movement pattern that I'm trying to improve is the handstand press up, which you can probably tell because this looks very similar to a handstand press up without any support. But of course, I'm using the wall for support because with the handstand press up at the moment, I can only do 1 or 2 reps and I want to build up my reps. So for me to do that, I need to basically use the wall for support. And basically I'm putting my toes on the wall so that I can slide up and down the wall. And I've actually taken my shoes off as well. So that's a quick tip for anyone who does chest to wall handstand press ups, which I'm also going to explain a bit more after this point. Is that you should definitely find a wall or surface that allows you to slide up and down, because you don't have any friction that basically forces you to stop doing the reps. As you can see how I'm sliding down, which is going to put pressure on my shoulders, and then I'm pushing back up as well, with little friction between my feet and the wall. So in the top left, you'll see it says CTW, which means chest to wall. And the reason that I'm doing it chest to wall is because it simulates the freestanding handstand push-up without any support a bit better. If you do it back to wall, then your back can bend and you're going to have an arched back while you're doing it, which is not ideal. So by doing it chest to wall, you're making it very similar to the handstand press up. And in fact, this is probably the most kind of important tip, is that you should bring your head in front of your hands. As you can see here, I'm basically pretending that I'm doing a handstand press up, but I'm just using the wall for support. So this is a really good training for the handstand press up itself, which I'll be strong enough to do for 5 to 10 reps, I believe, eventually. So yeah. Second exercise is just a handstand hold. So I worked on my strength a bit in the first exercise, and now I'm working on my balance. And it's also very important, whether you make a series like this on YouTube or not, to record your sets, because as you can see here, my line is alright. I don't have a big arch on my back, but here I held it for around 5 to 10 seconds. I believe this is a short hold, but this hold coming up is quite good for me to review for my training. So I'm going to hold it, I think, for about 50 seconds here, and the line starts off quite straight. But I think as I do the hold, yeah, you can see here my back starts to arch a little bit, and I have a banana back. So this form is not terrible, but it could definitely improve. So this is good. For example, I mean, anyone really, if you have to post it on YouTube or not, it doesn't matter. But a video like this can help you to see where your form is going wrong, because especially in calisthenics, when alignment is important, you might think that your body is in a certain position or certain shape, but when you watch the video, it's actually not. So here, for example, I thought I was completely straight, at least in my mind. But when I watch the video, I can see that I'm not. So I can basically see that I need to improve that form. And then I basically what did I do? Oh yeah, I went to, using dumbbells for the grip, because my wrist was hurting a little bit. That's another tip. If you're training handstand and you get wrist pain, just use dumbbells or little handlebars like parallettes. As you can see, now that I can grip the dumbbells, there is less pressure on my wrist. So basically, yeah, use the dumbbells when you can't do it on the floor anymore. And in this second exercise, I just worked on my balance. In the first one, I worked on my strength. We switched it up a bit here with the third exercise, which is muscle ups. I always like doing muscle ups in the gym, because I think at this gym that I'm going to now, I'm the only one that can do muscle ups. I don't know, that just makes me feel good, if anything. But yeah, muscle ups, and I think I went for a front lever here at the end because I was feeling confident, yeah, but I couldn't hold it. Muscle ups for me is a really good movement to train, because you're doing your pull and your push at the same time. And to be honest, with muscle ups, it's pretty much the only movement, I think, in calisthenics, or even in terms of weights, that you can do pulling and pushing at the same time without letting go of the bar. Usually if you do that in the gym, you do bench press and then you get up and then you do rows, like as a superset. But that's the really good thing about muscle ups. You can just do it all in one, and you can get fatigued really quick. So about 15 to 20 minutes in, if you do muscle ups for that same amount of time, you'll feel quite fatigued already. So it's really good and saves time, and it's an efficient exercise. And also, without that into consideration, it's also really good to build power. A lot of people who can do pull-ups can't do a single muscle up, and that's because they don't have the explosive pulling strength or the back strength to do it. So it's really good if you want to build like a vicious level of power in your back, because you're really transferring your entire body weight from under to over the bar, and that takes a lot of power, especially in the back. Now I was getting a bit fatigued, so I done quite a bit with the muscle ups, the handstand, and the handstand press ups against the wall. So I thought, let me just do some basics, which is always a good idea in calisthenics, especially the basics will help you a lot for the more or like the most advanced movements. And here, pretty much just doing dips, and then when I can't do any more, I'll pause at the top, as you can see, and then come out with a few more. So basically, that's my technique for dips. I do as many as I can in a row, with like a good rhythm, up and down, and then when I can't do any more, I'll just pause at the top for a couple of seconds and then go back down, and I'll do 3 or 4 more after that, and that adds up, because after 3 or 4 sets, you're gonna do about 12 more reps, which is basically an entire set more than you would have done if you just done the dips up and down. My tip for anyone who wants to do dips is go as low as it is comfortable for you. A lot of people can't go as low as I'm going because they don't have the shoulder mobility. I'll be the first to admit that I have good shoulder mobility, but that doesn't mean I have to be biased towards myself. Um, Obviously, if you don't have the shoulder mobility and you feel a lot of pain in your shoulders when you go this low, don't go this low. You can still benefit from the exercise, especially on your triceps. So yeah, definitely don't skip dips, no matter what level of shoulder mobility you have. Just work around it. Number 5, as I said, I'm doing the basics towards the end of my workout. So number 5 is the one and only king of back exercises, in my opinion, which is pull-ups. I always go wide and pronated on pull-ups, which for anyone who doesn't know, pronated means your knuckles are facing, well, not really your knuckles, the kind of your fingertips are facing away from you, so you can't see them. Basically, that's what pronated means. And then chin-ups would be supinated, where you can see your thumb and your fingertips, basically. So yeah, wide pull-ups, can't go wrong with this exercise. I always make sure to go into a full hang at the bottom, and then I pull up. So quite strict form, but for me, that's the only way to get it done, because if you want to build your back, you need to stretch your lats, and then obviously when you go to the top, chin over the bar to contract them. So yeah, quite boring towards the end with the basics, but that's what you need to do. A lot of people want their workouts to be just kind of fun, I guess, but you do have to have an element of discipline and just do the basic exercises, and no matter how bad you don't want to do them. So number 6, yeah, and number 7 are basically arm exercises. So as I said, I was getting really fatigued, and my big muscles like back and chest were getting quite weak. So I just moved on to 2 more exercises for arms. So the first one is the TRX Curl, which is going to work my bicep. And as you can see, I'm curling so that basically the handles or my hands are going behind my head. For me, this is the best way to work your biceps, because when you put your hands behind your head, you really get the full contraction of the bicep. And a lot of people have never actually experienced that, which to me is it's a bit crazy. A lot of people do their bicep curls wrong. I mean, the TRX curls as well, first of all, a lot of people sleep on these. They don't do them. I don't know why. To me, I think simply because they don't understand how they're supposed to be used, or they just want to do exercises like barbell curls that they see other people do, so they just follow. But those are really good. And then the final exercise of the workout is the skull crusher here. So yeah, for this one, I would say that you should go kind of head past your hands. In this video here, I couldn't really do that because the bar was quite low. So it's already quite hard. But basically, there's two ways you can make this harder. The first one is to bring your head past your hands so you get more of a stretch on your triceps. And the second way to make it harder is to get a grip on a lower bar. The lower the bar is, the harder it will be. These are basically similar to doing skull crushers with the easy bar or with weights, but instead it's your body weight, and you're going to use a bit of core as well. If you enjoyed this, stay tuned for episode 3, which is going to be a home workout on my journey to master my body weight.